What's up, Gears? Hello, Strife here. Another week and another Horde guide for Gears 5. This time I'm going to treat you to my thoughts and guide for the combat medic. This is the 6th or 7th class I've covered now for Gears 5, and I'll put the top link to my playlist in the top right of this video. Please note that my guides are aimed towards players new to Gears or Horde mode, so if you are a hardcore Gears fan, then please have a little bit of patience. You might actually learn something new from this video. If this video does help you out at all though, or you just like these kinds of guides, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Also leave a comment below on which class you'd like to see me cover next. Now a few people have requested my guide for the combat medic, and I'm sorry I've kept you waiting for it, but here it goes. The combat medic is a fantastic all-round support in Horde mode. You aren't going to be playing this class to reach the top of the damage tables though. You will be playing this class to help keep your main damage dealers alive though, so they can hit the top of the damage tables. Let's start with your loadout. The medic will have a lancer, gnasher and snub pistol. The best weapons to use on the combat medic are assault rifles, specifically the lancer or any of its variants, as these will be dealing the most damage from skill cards and perks. More on those later though. Every class in Horde has an ultimate and passive ability in Horde mode, and the combat medic is all about healing and keeping your team alive. Team revive will be your ultimate ability. This sends out a pulse from your character which will instantly revive any teammate, including yourself, from being down. Pulse will cover the entirety of the map, but can take a couple of seconds to get to the furthest edges. If you try to use this ultimate while all your teammates are alive and healthy, it just won't activate. Instead, it will reset after a few seconds. You can use this ability every 250 seconds, and if the rest of your team is down, let's say you're the last one up and kicking, if you happen to also get put down, your ultimate will trigger automatically, bringing back everyone who is down, without you having to press anything. Combat Medic's passive has two parts to it. The first part gives you and nearby allies, those within 10 meters, plus 50% health regeneration speed. This can be really useful if your teams are doing a lot of long firefights. The second part simply gives you a flat, additive, 30% damage bonus to assault rifles. The list of assault rifles include all variants of the Lancer, the Enforcer, the Hammerburst, and the Claw. There's one thing I quickly want to cover before I jump into skill cards. There seems to be some kind of extra passive with the combat medic that I can't figure out where it's coming from. Any damage you do as the combat medic reduces your ultimate's cooldown. I've tried this out in a private Horde match with no perks and no skill cards, and I seem to get my ultimate back in about 3 to 3.5 minutes. I don't know whether this is intentional or not, but you can make use of this while it is in the game. When you do start leveling up the combat medic though, you will start to have access to more skill cards and more card slots to equip these in. First you need to make some levels. Here's a small table breaking down each level's requirements. As you can see, it takes about 370,000 experience to max out any class. But getting to level 9 and unlocking all your card slots only takes 18,000. If you leveled up the cog gear when it was the old hero system as well, any levels you had on that character will have been transferred to this class with the recent Horde changes. Skill cards are up next. I will be going over each card and everything that the card covers. After that I'll cover the perks, and then I have a couple of builds for you. So, starting out at level 1, you will only have Skull Boost. If you want to use this, feel free, it's not going to make much of a difference though. Hitting level 2 unlocks Healing Bounty. This is your first major healing ability with the combat medic. Whenever you mark an enemy, whoever kills that enemy will be healed for a certain amount of health. So, use it for now, practice marking enemies just to help your team out a little bit. When you unlock your second card slot at level 3, you also unlock Razor's Edge. This will just give you some damage reduction when you are below 50% health. Use it for now, but we will be swapping this out later on. Next up is Perfect Condition. This is almost the exact same as Razor's Edge. It gives the same amount of damage reduction, but when you are above 50% health. You can use this for now if you want. When you hit level 5, you will unlock your third card slot and Suppressive Recharge. This card does have its uses. It will recharge a minimum of 36% of your ultimate's cooldown when you get a grenade kill. However, the Combat Medic's ultimate has a short cooldown. There's also the perk that makes the cooldown even shorter, and there's also that weird buggy passive that I also mentioned. If you want to use this card, you can, but it's really not needed. Another reason I wouldn't actually use this card, the Combat Medic doesn't get any kind of buffs to grenades, so the card's usefulness will kind of fall off in higher difficulties and higher level waves. Next up is Custom Lancer. This is a core skill card for the Combat Medic. The damage from this stacks additively with that 30% damage from your passive, so having this maxed out will almost double your base damage with any Lancer. Equip this card and never remove it. At level 7 you will unlock card slot number 4 and Modified Snub. This is the exact same as Custom Lancer, but for the snub pistol, obviously. This is more useful in Escape as stronger weapons are more easily available in Horde mode. Skip this one for now and equip something else you passed on earlier like Suppressive Recharge or Razor's Edge. The next card we will unlock is Dodge. This reduces ballistic damage taken from beyond 5 meters. So long as you aren't being shotgunned in the face or being cross-mapped by a boom shot, you will be a bit tankier with this card on. It does also pair well with Razor's Edge or Perfect Condition from earlier on. Upon reaching level 9, you will unlock your final card slot. Congratulations. You will also unlock Helpful Headshot. This card was recently buffed with Operation 6 Drop 2. A core card in my opinion. It will heal and generate stim for yourself and nearby allies whenever you hit a headshot. The amount of health and stim you receive is quite low when you first get the card, but it does jump all the way up to 30 per headshot once you max the card out. The first purple card to be unlocked for the Combat Medic is Overdoing It. The description for this card is a little brief, but it does grant damage reduction and a faster health regeneration for teammates that are revived when you use your ultimate, so it is very situational. If you have a bunch of melee classes on your team, this could be a lifesaver if your whole team runs into a sticky situation, but the damage reduction will be negligible at higher difficulties. At level 11 you will unlock Grenade Pouch. Just like the Tactician from last week, this card allows you to carry more grenades at once, up to a maximum of 8 if you max the card out. Next up is Team Repair. This card will augment your ultimate's ability to also heal fortifications by a certain percentage of their health. It still doesn't let you spam your ultimate ability, so if you choose to use this card, use your ultimate as often as you can, even if you need to down yourself with a grenade. This card is basically a free repair on everything, so your engineer will feel a little bit relieved. Just note though that it won't refill sentry gun's ammo, so your engineer will still need to do that. The Combat Medic will unlock their first gold skill card at level 13, Intervention. This card also received a buff recently in Operation 6. Whenever you kill an enemy, any downed teammates near that enemy will be revived. This card is a bit weird because you can time it so that it revives yourself if you happen to kill an enemy as you go down. The problem I have with this card, if you have a lot of big damage dealers like marksmen or demolitions on your team, you're not going to be getting many kills, so it's not useful in every game. Level 14, Epic Score Boost. Don't use it, unless you're going for a higher leaderboard ranking. I'm starting to feel like a parrot each time I cover this card. Gold skill card number 2, Get Up. This is unlocked at level 16 and provides stim to yourself and anyone else you revive using your ultimate ability. That is it for skill cards, but I do want to say the Coalition has missed a big chance to give this class an increased stim capacity card. This would have been perfect for this class, but maybe that will be added in the future, who knows. Let's quickly go over the perks. Each class in Gears 5 has access to 4 different perks out of a Horde match. These perks can be leveled up to 10, costing more and more energy with each level, but also granting bigger bonuses. Any single perk costs 24,250 energy to max out. The Combat Medic has access to critical damage, ultimate cooldown, assault rifle damage, and health. Here's a quick table for you. It shows each perk's value at each level and the cost of each level. I mentioned earlier I had 2 builds. Here is the first build I want to recommend. Custom Lancer is here to give you a big damage buff. Rifles are going to be your main source of damage as a combat medic. You aren't here to be a boss killer or do big amounts of area damage, but using this card will let you at least take out most drone-like enemies with ease, leaving the bigger guys like Scions and Pouncers for your teammates to deal with. Helpful Headshots is the best kind of healing ability available. It will always be useful for yourself, but nearby teammates will occasionally get some stim from you, which also helps keep them alive for longer. Team Repair, another great card to support your team with. I wouldn't use this card though if you have both an Engineer and Jack on your team, as you won't be healing that many fortifications. Otherwise, use your ultimate as often as you can when you have this ability. Intervention is another situational card. It can be useful if you have teammates who get in close and personal, so if you've got a team comprising of longer range classes like Marksman, Nomad or Veterans, then you can also swap this one out. Finally, Get Up is here just to make your ultimate a little better. The extra stim boost is nice for yourself and teammates to get out of those tough spots. If you want to swap out Team Repair or Intervention, I suggest overdoing it as a good option. The damage reduction this provides, added with the stim from your ultimate, can really turn the tables in some of those hard fights. Perk order I would suggest for this build would be ultimate cooldown first, then assault rifle damage and critical damage for a shared second, and last would be health. You provide a lot of stim and healing whilst using your ultimate as often as you can to support your team. This setup works especially well with veterans, those continuous headshots to heal and generate stim. Nomads also pair well because of a skill card they have. When a nomad has some stim, they can cause bleeding with their marker. Veterans and infiltrators can also make use of their increased stim capacity cards when they have a combat medic generating endless stim for them. The second build I want to recommend is more suited to keeping yourself alive whilst doing as much damage as possible. Custom Lancer is here again to improve your damage. This card alone won't be getting you to the top of the damage tables, but it does help. Dodge and Perfect Condition are here to give you a whole load of damage reduction, which makes you surprisingly tanky. Pair this with helpful headshots to heal back any damage you take, and you can stay active in firefights for much longer. You have an empty card slot available here as well. I would suggest either overdoing it for the occasional extra damage resistance it will provide. Team Repair will help your team out, especially if you have a lot of fortifications. Perk order for this setup would be assault rifle damage and critical damage first, then health, and finally ultimate cooldown. This particular setup is more of a greedy solo playstyle, but can still work well with veterans. Do prefer the first setup for this class as it will make you more of an all-round healing support for your team. There aren't many different options available with the Combat Medic, unfortunately. I think the Combat Medic does need a couple extra card unlocks for level 18 and 19, something like stim capacity or reviving teammates by any means causes them to do, say, 5 to 30% extra damage. There are other things they could have added to this class. Before we finish this video off though, there is one last thing we need to look at. Once you hit level 20 with this class, you will unlock the Heroic Venom weapon skin for the Lancer Assault Rifle, and I should be demoing this on screen for you now. That's everything there is to know about the Combat Medic for Horde mode. Thank you to those of you who suggested this class. I was quite surprised how useful this class turned out to be. Get into Horde, try this one out for yourself, and let me know what you guys think of this class. I also want to thank all of you for the support recently. I've had a lot of subs, so thank you to all you gearheads out there. If you did like this video, then you can also subscribe to see my next class guide. Leaving a like on the video will also be a huge boost, and if you want to see a particular class next, leave a comment below on which one you want to see. I can't promise it will be next, but I will try to prioritise it. Thank you for watching this guide on the Combat Medic. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next one, guys.